This game doesn't just scare you, it gets inside your head. Alan Wake 2 is a psychological horror masterpiece where you play as two characters, a detective named Saga and writer Alan Wake, who's trapped inside his own nightmares. The way the story flips between reality and imagination is pure brilliance. The graphics feel like a movie, and the sound design keeps you constantly uneasy. Every shadow, every flickering light makes you question what's real. It's not just a game, it's an experience that rewires your brain. One of the most underrated horror masterpieces on PS5, hands down. Imagine being locked in a prison on Jupiter's deadliest moon. That's the Callisto Protocol. It's gory, claustrophobic, and painfully realistic. You fight alien mutations in dark hallways where every sound feels too close. The combat is heavy. You can feel the impact in every swing. Critics complained, but gamers who actually played it know it's a brutal, cinematic horror experience that deserves way more love. The lighting, the gore, the atmosphere, it's all next-gen quality. If you love Dead Space-style horror, this one's calling your name. This game proves that horror can be beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Resident Evil Village takes you to a snow-covered European town full of monsters, secrets, and one unforgettable tall vampire lady. It mixes action, mystery, and gothic fear perfectly. The sound of footsteps in an empty corridor, the creak of doors, the echo of wolves outside, it's all designed to make your heart race. It's one of the best horror worlds ever built for PS5, and even years later, it still feels fresh, alive, and horrifying. One word, masterpiece. EA didn't just polish the original, they rebuilt it from the ground up. The spaceship Ishimura feels alive, breathing, and dangerous. The lighting is cinematic, the gore is insane, and the sound, oh man, it's terrifying. Every noise in the background makes you freeze. The zero-gravity sequences are breathtaking. This remake shows how old-school horror can still feel new when done right. If you never played Dead Space before, this is the best way to experience one of gaming's most iconic nightmares. Created by the legend behind Resident Evil, Shinji Mikami, The Evil Within 2 is a masterpiece that too many people ignored. You play as Sebastian Castellanos, a man searching for his daughter inside a horrifying dreamlike world. The enemies are grotesque, the visuals are surreal, and the story is surprisingly emotional. The world constantly shifts and breaks your mind with its design. It's a mix of open-world exploration and pure nightmare sequences that'll haunt you for days. It's criminally underrated. Ever imagined walking through Tokyo, but everyone has vanished except the spirits? That's Ghostwire Tokyo. It's stylish, spooky, and full of supernatural Japanese folklore. The city looks gorgeous with neon lights and foggy streets, yet it's empty, eerily empty. You use hand gestures to fight ghosts instead of guns, which feels super fresh. It's not your typical horror game. It's haunting, mysterious, and insanely atmospheric. It's the kind of horror that feels lonely rather than loud, and it's absolutely worth playing. This one's for fans of psychological horror. The medium lets you explore two worlds at once, the real one and the spirit world. You literally see both sides on screen at the same time. It's haunting, emotional, and beautifully eerie. The music is from the same composer who did Silent Hill, and that adds so much weight to every scene. It's not about jump scares, it's about mood, mystery, and emotion. It's slow burn horror done with AAA polish, and it absolutely deserves more recognition. Madison proves that you don't need a massive budget to terrify players like crazy. You're stuck in a haunted house using a Polaroid camera to reveal ghosts and secrets. Every click of that camera sends chills down your spine. The lighting is perfect, the tension never drops, and the pacing keeps your heart pounding the whole time. It's realistic, psychological, and deeply disturbing. If you loved PT, this game will mess with your head in the best possible way. Call of Cthulhu. This is Lovecrafty and horror at its finest. You play as a detective investigating a mysterious island where nothing is normal. The deeper you go, the more you lose your mind. The game doesn't rely on cheap scares. It builds dread slowly through whispers, hallucinations, and creepy rituals. It's a thinking person's horror game, where your sanity becomes your biggest enemy. If you love cosmic horror and stories that make you question reality, this is a must-try. Visage is pure psychological horror. You're trapped in a constantly changing haunted house. There's no combat, no escape, just you and the darkness. Every creak, every whisper feels alive. It's slow, realistic, and horrifyingly immersive. It's not about monsters, it's about the feeling of being watched. It's easily one of the scariest games ever made, and it feels like the true spiritual successor to the legendary PT demo. Play it with headphones, and good luck sleeping after. This one feels like a love letter to classic survival horror. Fixed camera angles, puzzle solving, creepy hospitals, it's all here, but upgraded for PS5. It's like the old Resident Evil games reborn with modern visuals. The story is dark, the atmosphere is dense, and the monsters look straight out of your worst dreams. If you miss old school horror with a modern twist, Tormented Souls is your hidden gem. Not your usual jump scare horror, but the kind that breaks your heart and creeps you out at the same time. Set in medieval France, it follows a brother and sister escaping the horrors of war and the plague, literally surrounded by thousands of flesh-eating rats. The atmosphere is dark, the story emotional, and the visuals are jaw-dropping. It's a horror of humanity, not monsters, and that makes it even more disturbing. It's one of the best narrative-driven experiences on PS5. It's not marketed as horror, but believe me, this game gets terrifying. Between the twisted worlds, nightmarish bosses, and eerie sound design, some moments will make your heart drop. You explore corrupted realms filled with monsters that look straight out of cosmic horror. It's action-heavy, but the tension never fades. The randomness of each world keeps you guessing and fearing what's next. It's a mix of horror and dark fantasy that totally deserves more hype. Cyberpunk and horror don't usually mix, but Observer does it perfectly. You play as a neural detective who hacks into people's memories to solve crimes. The problem? Those memories are full of twisted nightmares. The visuals are gritty and neon-soaked. The atmosphere is suffocating, and the voice acting by the late Rutger Hauer is phenomenal. It's a slow, creepy, and thought-provoking horror game that's way ahead of its time. Even years later, Until Dawn remains one of the most cinematic horror experiences ever made. You control 8 characters stuck on a mountain, and every decision you make decides who lives or dies. It's like playing your own horror movie. The motion-captured performances, the branching storylines, the tension, it all still holds up beautifully on PS5. It's fun, scary, and full of shocking twists. If you somehow missed this one, fix that immediately. It's not out yet, but the early looks at Silent Hill 2 Remake are mind-blowing. Unreal Engine 5 visuals, enhanced atmosphere, and a fateful recreation of one of the greatest horror stories ever told. This game might redefine what psychological horror means for a whole new generation. It's the one every horror fan should have on their radar. When it drops, it's going to shake the genre all over again. If you love discovering hidden and underrated horror gems like these, hit that like button and subscribe right now. Because the next video is going to dive even deeper into the darkest PS5 horror worlds you've never seen before.